This is Barbara with Cana Girl Speaks podcast. My voice, your voice. Good evening, everybody. This is Barbara with the Cana Girl Speaks podcast, and I am so excited to be recording on this evening. And I'm so excited to have this young man with me this evening that's going to be my guest. And so without further ado, I'm going to introduce to the listening audience and those that can also see us to Interim Chief, Corsicana Interim Chief Gillen. How are you, sir?
Barbara, I'm doing good. I appreciate you having me on here this evening, and glad to have this opportunity to talk to our community and everyone who's out there listening.
So I'm so excited that you took the time out to be on the Cana Girl Speaks podcast. And so tell the listening audience and those out that see us who Chief Gillen is.
Okay. Well, I'm from Corsicana area, from the Navarre County area. I do have a wife, 3 daughters. We do live locally here in Corsicana. I've served with Corsicana Fire Rescue for going on 19 years now. And the last 7 years, I've been the Assistant Fire Chief and Fire Marshal for the city. And since October, serving as the Interim Fire Chief.
Okay, so Chief Gillen, I wanted to bring you on because I got a chance to talk with you on the other night at a community meeting, and I was like, you know what, it'd be nice to bring you on to the Cana Girl Speaks podcast to talk a little bit more about your job, your service, because it is a service of the public, and also talk about the career and just talk about why you chose to be a firefighter.
Well, for me personally, I was looking for a career that had a team environment. It gives us the opportunity to serve our community. And one of the big things, just growing up and being involved in different teams and things like that, that was something that I've always enjoyed. I tell a lot of people that are interested in it, they ask me what it's like to be a firefighter. Well, you're around like-minded people for 24 hours at a time. You get to see and do things that most people never experience. You get to have a direct impact in your community with helping others. I mean, it's very rewarding, everything we do. So that's why I enjoy it, and I hope others out there kind of, are drawn to it for the similar reason.
So when you were growing up in high school, did you know this is what you wanted to do?
So I remember as a child having toy fire trucks and stuff like that. And I don't know if you remember back in the 90s, there was a TV show called Rescue 911. Mm-hmm. That was one of my favorite shows growing up. It was very exciting. I enjoyed watching that, and it was very realistic. There's many shows that we have out there today, public safety type videos for law enforcement, fire, and the realism, it's lost somewhere. Rescue 911, it wasn't that way. It was live events. So it was something that was very, very intriguing to me at the time.
Yeah, so when we talked the other night at the community meeting, we talked about how we can encourage some of our younger people to be a part of being, in emergency services like being a firefighter. So how can we talk to them or tell them, it is a good field to get into? What can be a drawing card to get them to maybe come and apply?
Well, I think for anybody that wants to make a difference, everybody has value in our community in some form, right? But what we do is not just a job; it's more of a calling, and it's not suited for everyone. Some people just don't have that desire to help others. But if you do have a desire and you want to be a part of your community and make a difference, it's definitely something that you should look into. There's opportunities out there to serve in volunteer fire agencies and stuff throughout our county. There's many agencies, and if you're interested, you can get onto that. You could come to the Corsicana Fire Department, take a tour, listen to some firefighters talk about what they do daily. Take a class at the college, related to it. There's EMT basic programs. Just get with Navarre College and see what those opportunities are. I think that right now with people growing up, they're not looking for jobs in public safety.
Yeah.
There's been a decline for sure. Post 9/11, there was a lot of people drawn to it. into public safety as a whole. But today, I'm finding more kids, they want to get into things that are not related to this. And some of it, I don't know if it's with COVID, people are just not drawn to public safety, but it's created a void.
Yeah.
There's been probably firefighters, EMS personnel that have retired or moved on to something else in light of COVID, but it's left a huge void.
Yeah.
So we definitely need people. We need our young people to see that this is a great opportunity. Today everybody wants to pursue a college a degree, and a lot of them have the idea of having a graduate level type career, and that's great. But you can still join public safety and serve the community in some role there, and do an online course.
Yeah.
These degree programs today, I've seen people achieve master's degrees all online.
Yeah.
And you can do it locally through Navarra College and A&M Commerce. So, but I would tell anybody that's interested, come check us out. Talk to a firefighter. We're out at 2975 Drain Road. My office is always open. They're 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. Stop by, say hello.
And y'all have a new fire department.
We do, and it's a beautiful place. It's very large, so we had outgrown where we were at, and the city, they had a vision for it. The property there, the building was existing already. That was part of the Texas Youth Commission.
Yes.
Okay, and they found the building in the back, and they saw the vision on how that could be a fire station, and it turned out wonderful. We couldn't ask for more. The fire equipment has grown bigger and bigger over the years. So I'll tell you, when we were down here at the old fire station down at City Hall, we got a new ladder truck back in 2011. Mm-hmm. And this thing was huge, okay? So when the first time we backed it in, they backed in a little too fast. And there's just a small lip, about a 1-inch lip where the overhead door's at. Mm-hmm. They backed it in, and as soon as the front tires hit it, that ladder, it come up and it hit the casing on it. I said, oh. So, we don't have that problem anymore. We have plenty of rooms.
Plenty of space. Yeah. And you also have, they talked the other night, you also have room for females.
Absolutely.
Because that was a big issue whenever you had the old fire station, and some of the other ones is that it wasn't equipped to house a female. And so, we would like to see some female firefighters, because I do know in the Metroplex they do have some female firefighters.
Absolutely. And we encourage that. We want the fire service here locally to reflect our community.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for. And we look for diversity in everything we do, because again, everybody has something to bring to the table, and we're all unique,
Yes.
and that only makes us stronger as a whole.
Yeah.
The new fire station, yes, it is equipped. It has individual bedrooms,
Mm-hmm.
where, some of the older fire stations, you walk in and the bedroom is all laid out, an open concept.
Yeah.
So this is, individual rooms. We have a bathroom for male firefighters, and we have a bathroom for female firefighters. So it's set up very well for that.
Well, that's good. So, how do you keep, the younger people also from going to the Metroplex because they make bigger salaries? Tell them how they should stay in their hometown, because I do believe, and I use this statement, I used it the other night, grow your own workforce. So how do you keep them here and not wanting to go to the bigger lights of the city?
Well, what we have found is we have lost a few local people to other departments, but many people that we have hired on have been from other areas,
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes when they hire on, they start their career. Many times they don't relocate to Corsicana. They have roots in other towns and stuff. So when they do have an opportunity at one of these other fire departments closer to home, sometimes they return back. The community as a whole, you're exactly right. We need to try to find ways to grow our own firefighters, our own public safety personnel here. Because I think if they're from this area and they have roots in this area, they're much more likely to stay.
And they will also have pride in their community too.
Absolutely.
And so tell them also about, you're going to have a new trailer for young people to see, because I know post COVID, and also probably a couple of years back, you used to go into the communities with these little firehouse, for the kids.
We did. The fire safety trailer. So That was funded by the Community Foundation here back in 1999. And this fire safety trailer is basically set up as a house, and we've taken it to every elementary school in Corsicana ISD for the better part of 20 years. Now, that trailer, it's seen better days,
Yeah.
so it was time to replace it. So one of the things, we went back to the Community Foundation this year, and they're funding a new state-of-the-art
That's
fire safety
good.
simulator.
That's good.
That should be completed probably June or July of this coming year. So you will see it out about in the community. This one here, it's set up more to where we can do elementary age education, but we can even get into middle school, high school,
okay. That's
adult
good.
education with some of the props. A lot more interactive, much more realistic
Yeah.
than anything we've had in the past. So for us, that serves as a vessel to get out into the community, to give children and adults the opportunity not only to learn about fire education and safety education, but to see what it's like to be in the fire service. That's an opportunity for them to interact, because a lot of people, they're busy in their everyday lives.
Yeah.
Sometimes in public safety, we'd like to think that our community thinks about us all the time, every day, but everybody has their own stuff going on as well.
They do.
So that makes us visible.
Yeah. So Chief Gillen, on the safety end, because we are into the winter months, is there anything you can tell those that are listening about safety, as far as anything, because fires are, prevalent during the winter months and all that because of different people and how they, might use the wrong type of things at their house. So can you tell those that are listening any type of safety, comments?
Absolutely. So this time of the year, just like you said, fires are more prevalent, and there's many reasons for that. We're turning on heaters. Some people are utilizing space heaters and stuff like that. If they're not used properly, that presents a risk. Also, during the holidays, people utilize candles more often and stuff like that around their home. So just be aware. Do a walk through your house. Again, everybody's in a hurry today.
Yeah.
But walk through the house. Make sure the candles are out. Make sure the ovens, the stovetop's turned off. It's a hectic time of year. Everybody's busy. But just take a few moments and think about it. That's going to make the biggest difference. If there was one safety message that I would tell anybody, is put a smoke detector in your home. That's huge.
Do y'all give those out? I know one time y'all used to give them out.
And we still have a program. We've received donations from Walmart, Home Depot in the past, and we actually have some in stock right now. So anybody that wants to get a hold of Corsicana Fire Department, just give us a call. Let us know who you are. If you need assistance putting it up, and you live here in the city of Corsicana, we can send fire personnel out to assist you with putting those in your home.
What about space heaters?
Space heaters, yeah. The newer, more modern ones, they have tip-over features where they should shut off if they're tipped over. If they ever overheat, they should shut off. But there are some older models out there that people have used for long periods of time. And one of the biggest things is not having combustible items next to it.
Yeah.
We've had home fires from people throwing blankets on them or near them. You just want to keep any combustible item away. Something else that's especially important this time of year, is with Christmas trees and everything else, overloading. Yeah. Okay? Because ideally in your home, your breakers should trip if you have something that's overloaded. But people do plug in a lot of extra stuff this time of year, and that does present that risk. Okay? So I would just say, use things the way they're designed to be used.
So Chief Gillen, before we close out, we did have, I say, that Snowmageddon. Mm-hmm. This past year, it was horrible. And so how can we be better prepared as community members, just in case we have another Snowmageddon?
Well, water, drinking water, having potable water was the big thing. We transported in over 50,000 bottles of water. We worked with the Texas Division of Emergency Management on that, and it was a challenging couple of days, But as far as being prepared, make sure you have things in your home. Make sure you have some type of emergency preparedness kit. Food, have food. Have flashlights, have batteries, because, there's a high potential for power outages, water outages, everything like that. We want to encourage everybody to stock up on some water. Make sure you have 2-3 days worth of water when it comes to that kind of stuff. Flashlights, you may not have electricity. You may not even have any natural gas, So want to make sure you have some way to eat, and you may lose all your power to your refrigeration. So canned goods, stuff like that, dry goods that's going to store and keep, stock up on that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And then stay at home, too.
Yeah.
If you can stay at home and avoid getting out in that kind of weather, do so, because, when the roads
biggest
get
thing
that
was just
way.
staying warm, because a lot of people had no electricity, so staying warm was the biggest thing. And you wanted to make sure people wasn't, burning their, trying to use their grill to, stuff like that.
That's exactly right. And I'm glad you brought that up, because there's warming stations. We set up one at First Baptist Church, working with the folks over there. We'll put out cots and everything. So if you don't have heat in your home, I mean, that's an emergency. It's critical. So we encourage you to seek shelter in one of these places. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Chief Gillen, I really do appreciate you taking the time out to be on the Cana Girl Speaks podcast. And I always give my guests an opportunity to give their shout-outs. So go ahead and give your shout-outs to anybody you'd like to give your shout-outs to.
Well, I want to give my shout-out to Corsicana Fire Rescue. I want to give my shout-out to you, Barbara, for having me this evening. I appreciate this community. We can make Corsicana a great place to live and work. We can foster growth in our community and work with the youth here in Corsicana ISD and the other ISDs throughout this county to encourage them to, maybe pursue a career in public safety one day.
I hope so. Well, I feel like we're going to team up and we're going to try to really motivate our young people to be, firefighters, police officers, because, they're here. We just got to reach out to them.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So with that being said, I want to say Merry Christmas. I hope you have a awesome Christmas with your family, and just stay safe. And I know your firefighter team is gonna. I know this time of year, sometimes it's busy because I hear the sirens a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I always say I have that third ear for them sirens. So y'all just stay safe, and just thank you so much for just being on the Cana Girl Speaks podcast.
Thank you very much.
And so to my listening audience, thank you so much for always supporting the Cana Girl Speaks podcast, and have an awesome, have a safe Christmas. Enjoy your families, and stay safe. Thank you. Good night.
This is a Legacy Recording Studio production.